You know those missed delivery texts everyone gets asking for a fee? I almost clicked one the other day, felt off.
Yeah.
My gut was right. Those texts, they're like the first step in a way bigger scam, like targeting our mobile wallets.
Exactly. You're right to be cautious. It's called smishing.
Smishing.
Basically, it's think phishing, but through text.
Okay.
And that's how some cybercrime groups are getting into Apple Pay, Google Pay, those accounts.
Makes sense.
In this episode of The Daily Threat, we're going deep on this very topic. So sit back, buckle, and get ready to have your mind blown. A recent article by Krebs on Security went into great detail and really exposes how these scams work.
Oh, Krebs, love that site.
It's got some alarming implications for, I think, all of us, really.
So not just like your typical phishing email, the ones we just chuck into the spam folder.
Right.
This feels, I don't know, more sneaky.
It is. I mean, think about it. With regular phishing emails, you got spam filters. You could look at the sender.
Yeah.
But smishing, they use things like iMessage or RCS, Rich Communication Services. It's like the next-gen texting, and it kind of skips those security checks.
So harder to spot then.
Yeah, much harder. Especially if you're, not super techie. What it means is
right.
These messages, they slip through, look way more legit. These guys are using like these high-tech phishing kits, real-time data capture, and all those.
Phishin's intense.
They can actually steal your info even if you don't hit submit on a fake form.
Really? I thought just closing the page, that was enough.
Nope.
Oh, man.
And they're good. They mimic those trusted sources, USPS, even toll road operators.
Oh, yeah.
They play on that urgency. Like, you trust these organizations.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's scary.
I can see that. Totally see how people would fall for it.
Especially if you're like waiting for a package or just drove through a toll.
Exactly, yeah. So let's say they got me. I click the link. I put in my card details. What then? What happens next?
Well, they need one more thing to kind of hijack your mobile wallet. It's a one-time code.
Okay.
They make you think it's like a routine security check from your bank,
Yeah.
But it's actually the code to link your card to a new mobile wallet, one they control.
It's like giving away the keys to your house without even knowing it.
Exactly. And the scary part is, once they got that code, all they need is like a scan.
A scan?
A scan of a fake digital image of your card. That's it, to link it.
No way.
They don't even need the actual card.
That is crazy. So they're making like a copycat digital version of your card to make their own wallet.
Exactly. And a lot of times they'll even tell you to try like multiple cards. If the verification fails, they want to maximize what they can get.
So potentially they could drain several accounts just through mobile wallets, just from a couple texts.
That's the scary reality, yeah. And how they cash out, that's just as sophisticated.
Okay, I'm scared to ask, but how? How do they do that?
So there's this guy, Ford Merrill, security researcher at Sync Alliance. He's been studying these Chinese smishing gangs.
Okay.
What he's found, it's pretty disturbing.
Disturbing how? Like, what are they doing with all this stolen data?
One way is they set up these fake e-commerce businesses.
Like online shops.
Yeah, exactly. On platforms like Stripe, Zelle.
Zelle, for people who don't know, it's for like sending money to friends, right?
Right, peer-to-peer payments, super popular.
Yeah, okay.
So they use these businesses to like push through fake transactions.
Sneak.
Usually small amounts. So it doesn't, set off alarms.
So they're making it look like normal buying and selling is happening.
Exactly. Clever, right? But also incredibly deceptive.
Yeah, that's messed up. But that's not their only trick, is it?
You got it. They also use something called ghost tap technology.
Ghost tap?
And that's where things get even wilder.
Okay, you got me hooked. What is ghost tap?
So basically, ghost tap lets them make a contactless payment, but from anywhere in the world.
Wait, what?
Imagine someone in China, right? Using your stolen mobile wallet to buy something here in the U.S.
Whoa, that's some sci-fi stuff right there. How's that even possible?
So they've made this Android app. It relays the NFC transaction. NFC is the tech behind contactless payments. It sends it over the internet.
Okay.
Someone with this app, they wave their phone near a payment terminal, and the data, it goes to another phone.
Whoa.
Could be thousands of miles away where the stolen wallet is.
So they don't even need to be in the same country as the store to buy stuff.
Nope. No physical card, nothing.
That is unsettling, to say the least.
It really shows how cybercrime is changing. It's not just stealing data anymore. It's like messing with the whole system of digital payments.
Yeah, that's a big shift.
And this isn't just theory. There are real cases, ghost tap being used to buy, like iPhones, jewelry.
Seriously?
Even gold bars, I've heard.
Wow, so it's actually happening. It's like any of us could be a victim just from one wrong click.
That's why, understanding these scams, it's so important. First step, awareness.
Makes sense. But like, how big is this problem? Are we talking like a few isolated cases, or is this like a widespread thing?
That's what we're going to get into next. The scale of this. It's way bigger than you think.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's dive in.
Okay, so this smishing, this ghost tap thing, pretty scary stuff.
Yeah.
But how widespread is this? Are we talking like a few bad guys, or is this like a huge operation?
You remember the security researchers we mentioned? The ones who found the holes in the smishing triads platform?
Yeah.
Well, what they found gives you an idea of how big this is.
Okay.
One of them, he found proof of almost 500,000 credit cards.
500,000?
Yeah, entered into those phishing sites.
That's insane.
And Ford Merrill, from his research, he figures these groups, they're making, on average, like $250
Per card.
per stolen card, in fake charges.
Wow.
And when you consider all the different, the domains, all the websites linked to these groups, we're talking potentially like $15 billion.
$15 billion.
In fraudulent charges in just 1 year.
Okay, that's not just some small time thing. That's a massive amount of money.
Exactly. It shows how serious this is. The potential damage is
Right.
huge.
Right.
And it gets worse because these guys, they're always adapting, changing their tactics.
Yeah.
They fix their vulnerabilities fast, always trying to stay one step ahead.
It's like a constant game of cat and mouse.
Exactly.
So what can we even do? Like, as individuals, to protect ourselves? It all feels a bit overwhelming.
I get it. It can feel that way. But there are things you can do. First and foremost, be careful about any text at all, asking for your info, personal stuff, financial stuff.
Yeah.
Don't click those links from senders you don't know, especially if they're about like deliveries, payments, things like that.
Okay, so no more clicking without thinking.
Exactly.
Nice.
Especially if you're like eagerly waiting for that Amazon package.
Oh, yeah. I'm so guilty of that.
It's easy to do,
Right.
but be mindful.
Okay.
Another thing, double check those one-time codes. Always.
Those codes, yeah.
Make sure you know what you're okaying before you type it in anywhere. Remember, that code, it's like the key to your mobile wallet.
So no more just blindly entering codes, even if they seem like they're from my bank.
Right, exactly. Verify, always. If you're not sure, call your bank directly.
Good advice.
And watch out for any messages that try to, like, rush you, pressure you into doing something quickly.
Yeah, those always feel kind of fishy.
Exactly. That's usually a red flag.
Red flag, got it. This is really helpful, thanks. But it sounds like this problem, it's bigger than just us being careful, right? Like, what can tech companies do to make things more secure, protect their customers?
They've got a big role to play, for sure. One of the biggest problems is how much they rely on those SMS one-time codes.
For setting up the mobile wallets.
Exactly. It's way too easy for criminals to, like, exploit that.
So what's the alternative? If we can't use text, how do we prove it's really us?
Some banks, they're already moving to stronger methods, like they make you log into their app
Okay.
to authorize a new mobile wallet.
Makes sense. An extra step.
Yeah, it's a lot harder for someone to hijack your account that way.
Right. What about like the ghost tap problem? Anything that can be done about that?
That's probably going to need changes to the payment terminals themselves.
The ones in stores.
Yeah, they got to be better at spotting those relayed NFC transactions, the fake ones.
But that's like every store would have to upgrade their systems, right? That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a huge project. It'll take payment processors, the companies making the terminals, the stores themselves all working together.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
It's complex, but finding a solution, it's critical if we want contactless payments to be safe.
Totally. So we've talked about what we can do, what banks can do, but what about like the big tech companies, Apple, Google? They're the ones with these mobile wallet platforms, right? What's their responsibility here?
Oh, they've got a role to play, for sure. They can spot suspicious activity, like if a bunch of mobile wallets are added to one device from different places.
Yeah, that seems like a red flag.
Right. They could also, like, push the banks to use those stronger authentication methods we talked about.
Yeah.
Make it tougher for the bad guys to create all those fake accounts for smishing.
So it's like everyone's got to work together to fix this.
Exactly. It's a shared responsibility. Making the digital world safer, It's on all of us.
That's a good point. But knowledge is power, right?
Absolutely.
The more we understand these scams, the better we can protect ourselves.
Couldn't agree more.
And for everyone listening, we'll be sure to link to that Krebs on Security article in the show notes, so you can check it out, learn more about all this.
It's a great read, very informative.
Yeah. This whole conversation, it's really got me thinking, with all these vulnerabilities, these threats, how safe do you feel about your own mobile wallet, your online stuff? It's something to think about, right? Especially as we use these digital systems more and more.
Definitely something to consider.
But before we spiral into, existential dread here, what about the future? Anything on the horizon that gives you hope?
Oh, absolutely. There's some really promising stuff out there. Yeah, definitely. Like biometrics, fingerprint scanning, facial recognition, all that.
Right.
That's getting way more advanced. Could be a much safer way to verify mobile wallet payments.
Makes sense. Seems way harder to trick than, a text message.
Exactly. And some companies are even looking at behavioral biometrics.
Behavior?
Yeah, it analyzes how you type, how you hold your phone, that kind of stuff.
Oh, interesting.
To create a unique digital fingerprint, basically.
So it's not just who you are, but how you use your device.
Exactly. Be huge for security. Makes it way harder for someone to pretend to be you.
That does make me feel a bit better, knowing that kind of tech is out there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And there's this whole movement towards decentralized identity systems.
Okay, decentralized. What's that?
So it's where you, the individual, you have more control of your own data.
Okay.
You choose how it's shared, who gets to see it.
So instead of relying on Google or Facebook to manage our info.
Exactly. Take back the power. Could really cut down on fraud, make online stuff way safer.
That's pretty awesome. It sounds like a lot of good stuff happening in cybersecurity, which honestly is a relief after all this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the more people know about this stuff, the more they demand better security. It'll push things in the right direction.
Absolutely. Well, this has been, I gotta say, a real eye-opener. Started off pretty nervous about my mobile wallet, but now, I don't know, feeling a bit more hopeful, I guess.
I think that's the right takeaway.
It's clear there's a lot of challenges, but there's also a lot of smart people working on solutions. That's good to know.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, it's on all of us,
Yeah.
Protecting ourselves, protecting each other.
Absolutely.
Being aware, being cautious, speaking up about wanting better security. It all matters.
So true. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We got into smishing, ghost tap, the whole future of mobile wallets. A lot to take in.
A lot to unpack, yeah.
But hopefully you learned something new, feel a bit more equipped to stay safe out there.
That's the goal.
Thanks again for joining us.
My pleasure. Always good to chat.
And for everyone listening, stay vigilant, stay curious, and stay safe out there in the digital world. And for you business leaders, if you need help with any of this cybersecurity stuff, reach out to the experts at QIT Solutions.